Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Menomonee Falls Public Library Board of Trustees monthly board meeting on Wednesday, May 20th, 2026 at 6 o'clock to order. First, we have roll call. Nicole Barker, President.
Tom Ewig, Secretary Treasurer.
No, Vice President.
Vice President. That's right. Oh my God.
Dave Munoz, Superintendent of Schools.
Matt Hayes, Menomonee Falls Village Trustee.
Scott Hodiger, Trustee.
Michael Dibbitts, trustee.
Ellen Rohr.
Jacqueline Romer.
First, I would like to welcome Village Trustee Matt Hayes to the Library Board. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're replacing Anne. You got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Would you like to give us an introduction?
Yeah, very quickly, nearly a lifelong resident of Menomonee Falls, graduated Falls High in 2009. Went on to Whitewater for my undergrad and graduate in accounting. Done that for about the last 12 years, coming up on 12 years. And I've been on the village board since April of last year. And I specifically asked to be on in this spot when I knew Ann was leaving, so I'm glad to be here.
Great.
Thank you. Next would be public comment period. Remember, there's nobody here, so we can skip over that and go right to the consent agenda. Items listed under the consent agenda will be approved in one motion unless any board member requests that an item be removed for individual discussion. That item can be considered at an appropriate time during the board's regular order of business or under new business. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the last regular board meeting on April 15th, 2026, and the expenditures for April 2026 in total amount of $35,048.37.
Motion to approve.
Wait, we have to separate them because Matt wasn't here. For minutes.
So we need a motion to
Motion to
that.
separate.
Okay.
Second.
All right, so we'll pull out the minutes, and we can do that one first. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a recommended change to the minutes.
Okay.
It's in, you want me to give that now?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6, committee reports. B, second sentence says 131 area businesses have been contacted. I am recommending changing that to 72 area businesses have been contacted. There were 131 businesses in our database. We had contacted 72.
Okay.
That was the difference.
Okay. Got it.
Any other changes? All right, all in favor of approving the last minutes from the April 15th, 2026 board meeting as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. All right, then we can move on to the, whatever I said. Yes, the expenses. So it'll be the expenditures for April 2026 in the total amount of $35,048.37. I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the April 2026 expenditures in the amount of $35,048.37, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have the committee reports. First is the policy committee. We met April 5th and went through all of the policies that we are approving tonight. I know it looks like a lot, but we made it through them in committee in an hour, and that was like actually the part in dissecting them. So I'm hoping that it will not be as long as it looks. I think the changes are pretty straightforward, so that's it. Next, we got special projects fundraising and the outreach committee. Scott?
Okay, I passed out a little sheet. I'll make it prettier the next time. Might be one short for you, Mike. So it has last month at the top, you see April 15th and then May 20th. So database, we had 131 businesses in our database. One went away. I think there was one that is no longer a business or something, so we took that out. And this just shows who we've contacted. We haven't had any additional businesses say yes, so we're still at 6. We still have 13 that we're working on. There's some next step happening. They may have said, hey, we're really interested, we're checking with somebody, or some step. And then ones we are following up on, we have 43 now, we have 46 we're following up on. 10 declined last month a total, and now the total, we have 13 that have declined. So in total, we have been in contact with 78 businesses, 53 yet to contact. At the bottom, it shows how many interactions. So we have called them, we've mailed them, we have emailed them, we have personally dropped off literature or whatever. So just to read across here, there are, if you look at just this to date in May, 17 companies we've interacted with once, 62 companies twice, or excuse me, that's total number of interactions. 31 companies we've had 2 interactions with, 3 companies 9, and so on. For a total, we had 186 some type of way we have interacted with companies. So, and I don't believe we have any additional funds that have come in yet. So that is our status. We're still working through. We're still trying to work on these companies that, hey, they're interested in looking to do something. That's the status of that.
Thank you. Next is Finance Committee, Tom.
Nothing to report at this point.
Okay, we have a meeting coming up.
We will.
Okay. Next, we're moving on to new business. First is to discuss and consider for approval the Policy Review Committee's recommended amendments to Policy 3.06 meeting spaces. I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
So I started something different this month by putting the proposed amendments on as a note on the agendas. So you can see in your packets all of the proposed amendments. I can run through those really quickly if you'd like. Otherwise, if you've already read them, let me know what you would prefer.
That was extremely helpful.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
That was great.
Good. I will continue doing that then.
Yes, I'm
Jim.
going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I've read them all.
Okay.
Ready to vote.
Okay. All in favor of approving Policy 3.06, is that the one, right?
Yep, 3.06.
Meeting spaces? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is passed. The next we have, consider for approval Policy Review Committee's proposed amendments to Policy 5.04, records retention and renaming the policy to library records.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All right. All in favor of approving the amendments to Policy 5.04 and renaming it to library records, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, discuss and consider for approval recommendation by Policy Review Committee to eliminate Policy 5.05 social media and defer to the village social media policy.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? None. All in favor of approving elimination of library policy 5.05 social media and deferring to village's social media policy, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. The next is discuss and consider for approval Policy Review Committee's proposed amendments to Policy 6.01, deference to Village of Menomonee Falls, and reorganizing it to Policy 1.03.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All right. All in favor of approving the amendments to policy 6.01, deference, and to Village of Menomonee Falls and reorganizing it to policy 1.03, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Then next we have discuss and consider for approval policy review committee's recommended amendments to policy 6.02, attendance and time off.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the proposed amendments to policy 6.02, attendance and time off, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, discuss and consider for approval policy review committee's recommended amendments to policy 6.03, dress code.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving amendments to policy 6.03, dress code, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, discuss and consider for approval recommendation by policy review committees proposed amendments to policy 6.04, grievance.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All right, I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right. All in favor of approving amendments to policy 6.04, grievances, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, discuss and consider for approval library board certification of eligibility for exemption from county library tax.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Yeah, motion and a second, and discussion.
So this is a standard document that we approve every year. It goes through our annual report totals for those minimums for the Waukesha County Library standards, where we actually were in 2025, and then you will see whether or not we met the minimum, and then we are going to attest whether we will meet the minimum in 2026. And we should be able to meet the minimum this year, whether or not regardless of whether or not the standards change, because we are anticipating the current standards. But if they do decrease as we're anticipating they will, we will obviously meet those anyway. And then there's the quality assurance standards, which we always make sure that we meet. So there shouldn't be any issues with this, and I would say that we will meet all of these in 2026.
Okay, I have a question. So I read through this, part I don't understand is on page 2, under that step 1, it says plus lending to other library communities residents, 17,809.
So this is the formula to see whether or not we meet the library service effort ratio. So the formula is how much Menomonee Falls Public Library lent to our own residents. So how many checkouts to our own residents, that's at 333,000 and some change. And then you add lending to other library communities residents. So that is other Waukesha library community, let me rephrase, residents from library communities in Waukesha County who use our library and check out from our library. So that's what that 17,000 is.
Okay, then, okay, so I got that. So then when I go later in our annual report, I guess it's under item 3, library services.
Let me just pull that one up, 1 second. Yes.
Okay, then it says, I didn't understand, integrated library systems, items loaned to other libraries, 47,933.
Yep, so that's a different statistic. The statistic that you're talking about above, the library service effort ratio, that's people checking out materials here in the building. This is the amount of items that we're sending out in transit to other Bridges libraries. and then that are coming in from other Bridges libraries. So loan to is the ones that are going out in transit. Borrowed from are the ones that are coming in for our patrons.
Okay.
Scott, that's the number, that second one is the number that we used alongside the other one to figure out if we're a net lender or a net borrower, correct? For that purpose? That second one where we're talking about borrowing from?
Where it
and
says, yeah, we
lending
borrow
to?
52,000, something.
There's more that goes into that formula, but yes, those
Okay.
play a role. And I'm hoping to talk more about the net borrower versus net lender at the next meeting, just giving like a rundown of what exactly that all entails.
Perfect.
Okay, then my last one on that was under item 11, public library loans of material to non-residents.
Gotcha, Kate.
On the annual report,
Yeah,
which.
page 9,
Okay, thank you.
sorry.
Yes,
So there is a number at the top of 47,126.
Certification valid to.
are you asking if that matches up with,
Yeah, so it doesn't match to the other one, so I figured that's a different,
Six
some different
five.
calculation there or something.
so that's the total circulation to non-residents, including those with and without a library of their own.
Oh, okay.
The first number was only those who have a library of their own, so Brookfield, the Sussex, that type of community. The one
Okay.
that's in the annual report, that 47,000, that's Brookfield, Sussex, but also Lannon, Lisbon, all communities regardless of if they have a library or not.
Okay, well, wait, so the.
Including-
The 47,933 is everybody, and the 47,126 is,
It looks like. the
Is it just a
47,126
coincidence that those
is
numbers are so close?
Total circulation to non-residents.
One of them includes, the one on the annual report includes Jefferson County as well. And,
oh, okay.
Got it.
Okay,
and all other counties. Whereas the library service effort ratio is just Waukesha County.
okay,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay.
So how would we get that number up?
That's what I want to do a little deep dive on with you guys next month, if that's okay. Because I have some ideas, but there's so much that goes into that I really wanted to lay it out in a PowerPoint, if that is okay with you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Awesome.
all right. Any other questions? All right. All in favor of approving the library board certification of eligibility for exemption from county library tax, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is passed. We're moving on to unfinished business. First, under that item is discuss and consider for approval amendments to the 2025 annual report. Need a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion?
We received the final year-end finances from Village Finance. And because we are in the process of submitting our reimbursement requests from adjacent counties due July 1st, this is really important that we get those numbers as soon as possible, so we got them in time. But there were some pretty significant differences between the numbers that were approved at the end of February and now, once they did all of their journal entries and back-end things. So inside, you can, in your packets, you'll see everything that changed within the annual report. You can see there were bills that were not posted in the correct year, so they had to put journal entries in. A lot of those were utilities, mat service, insurances also went up, and then there were slight adjustments to salaries and wages as well.
All said, we're still in the black, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Perfect.
So we just need an approval for that, and then Nicole will sign it, and we'll send that back to the state.
All right. Any questions?
What is the difference?
I already asked mine earlier.
What's the difference?
We're still in the black, is my question.
By how much less?
So you can see all of the numbers that have changed on there.
Okay,
How much less what?
so we were in the black, but we obviously didn't get as much revenue. And we didn't, we had, did the expenses also go down? Like, I'm just looking at this
The
for the first
expenses,
time.
the expenses went up.
Expenses went up,
Mhm.
revenue went down, but we're still in the black. By how much did we go down? I mean, how much did?
About 40,000.
About 40 grand, okay.
It's enough to cover the gig.
Is it? That's good to hear.
So we're in the black 40,000.
That's,
Yes.
Wait,
I gotta get a new cake.
100 and something.
Did you want to clarify something, Ellen?
Yeah, we're in the black. I think it was 170, now it's 140,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
roughly.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
The aggregate, right? Yeah.
All right. All in favor,
178 to 139.
all in favor of approving amendments to the 2025 annual report, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Then next we have discuss and consider for approval amendments to the 2026 allowable cost worksheet.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
These are just amendments that we have to send to Bridges Library System. Now that the numbers from the annual report has changed, we have to tweak those slightly as well from what was previously approved.
Any questions?
Just give me a quick rundown.
So it, essentially what this document is we're putting numbers in from what was in the annual report. So it's showing what were our actuals per the annual report for our municipal operating revenue that we received from Waukesha County, other county payments. So those numbers changed slightly from what was approved in this document previously because those annual report numbers changed. And then the things that did not change was the municipal adopted budget for 2026. So this is just a planning document used by the county to anticipate charges, reimbursements moving forward. So it's really just plugging in numbers
Just the
from the annual
actuals because
report.
of the changes they made.
Correct.
All right. All in favor of approving amendments to the 2026 allowable cost worksheet, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Then it's,
I'm sorry, I know this, I didn't do this in the right order, but Jackie, is there any concerns that you're seeing related to those adjustments that they did for you?
No,
No.
no, I think we're fine. It's pretty standard adjustments with journal entries, things like that. Either way, I think we're okay. Ellen, do you have any opinions about that, or do you feel?
The biggest opinion I have is it's actually beneficial to us to have more expenses, because then when we charge the adjacent counties for services, the price per cert goes up. So that actually increases revenue for 2028
Yeah.
Oh, it's
from the
the,
neighboring
Yay.
counties.
it's the aid formula. Yeah.
So that's actually maybe beneficial.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
next is the president's report. The only thing I really have is that, Falls Memorial Fest is this Saturday. Do we have a booth there this year?
We sure do.
Yay! All right, that was it.
This Saturday.
This Saturday.
Hmm.
It is.
Family leftover cake. Bring that to the booth. We'll get-
I'm here all weekend. Just got my son's birthday, so.
Next is the library director's report. Jackie?
Sure, starting out with statistics. This is always a really exciting time of year because we have school field trips and we get the students signed up with library cards. So we always see a bump in library card registrations right before summer. As you can see, our visitors continue to grow. So we are seeing more people in the building than ever. Something interesting about our program statistics. So we actually have decreased the amount of programs that we're offering, and that's for a variety of reasons. One of them is that we had some staffing transitions, so there were a little bit lighter programs in the adult services department. And also, we just had to rethink some of our evening programs that with the hours adjustment. But this is good. So even though we have less programs than we had last year and the year before, we have more program participants than ever. So more people are coming to our programs, which is great. So we're actually serving more people. And that's a huge shout out to the library staff for planning programs that people are very interested in, getting big crowds for these programs. Things are going really well with that. We have the summer library program coming up, and that is for all ages, so I encourage you all to sign up. It's going to be in June and July. The theme is Unearth a Story, and it's all about dinosaurs. There are some incredible prizes for children and teens, but also we have over 20 prizes available for adults. All you have to do is log your days read over the summer, and you can put in tickets right on the Beanstack app to earn these prizes. Tons of community connections with the adult prizes. Most of them were donated by local businesses or sports groups. So this is really awesome. It's going to be the best summer ever, and we have a really great roundup of programs, materials. We continue to add a significant amount of materials as well as regular weeding for the collection. Overall, things are going really, really well with that. I really don't have any updates about the coffee shop. Things continue to go well with the coffee shop. We've received positive feedback about it. And then for the facilities maintenance plan update, so I haven't gotten anything from the village in terms of a long-term facilities maintenance plan when we're talking about things such as the boiler, elevators, really significant, the generator, significant things for the operation of our building. I continue to be told that that's going to be part of the police department renovation, so they're going to try to tie that in. So that's good. However, for our purposes, I want to have something more concrete for every aspect of the building. So I'm hoping next month as well that I'll be able to show you a spreadsheet that I've been working on that includes not only capital improvements, but also technology improvements, because they're so tied together these days, especially with, built-in screens and things like that. So I have a 5-year capital plan that I'm working on, which I think will help a lot when we're working with the village to ask for funding. And it also operates on a needs level, so a 1 to 5 needs level. It's really cool, I think, so I will hopefully have that ready for you next month to kind of give you a tour of it so that you can see what we have coming up. A lot of it is technology. We have a lot of technology replacements coming up that are not going to be inexpensive. So incorporating that with some of the capital updates will be good. And then I'm hopeful that we can take what the village eventually gives us when we're talking about boilers, HVAC, all of those really important things, and incorporate that so that we can have a great idea and be able to share it with the village of saying, just so you know, these are the expenses that we're anticipating in 2028, 2029, 2030. So for your planning purposes, that's what you need to be looking forward to. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to get something concrete down. First floor renovation update, things are moving ahead. So we have been working with our designer on finalizing the plan sets. In June, we're gonna have a meeting for any interested contractors to be able to come out for a pre-bid meeting. And then in July, at our July library board meeting, we are going to be awarding the contract. The way that that works in the state of Wisconsin is it goes to the lowest bid. So there's not a whole lot of deliberation needed on your end in terms of, you know, which contractor are we going to go with. So that's gonna be July, and then we're just gonna keep moving forward from there with a tentative start date of November 4th. Anticipated to go through March or April for an end date.
Pardon my ignorance, but we're required to go with the lowest bid?
Yes.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Must be trying to avoid, you know, nepotism and patronage and stuff like that, right? They're trying to make it objective, right? I assume, and then that has weird side effects.
So how many, does that go off of every single bid we get, or just like the final 3 or whatever? Like, how does that work?
All of them. So out of any, so if we get 20 proposals, it would be the lowest of those.
One's 591 and one 590, 590, yep. Because even, you know.
Correct.
Okay.
That's crazy. All right.
They have to have all the qualifications too, so the insurance.
Oh, sure.
Oh, right.
Meeting the minimum
And
expectations.
there are certain.
And our requirements of the RM or whatever.
There's certain requirements that we're building into it that are time sensitive, so that certain phases are done at certain times, so that library operations are not interrupted. So they are gonna have to be able to meet that, and some of them are, they may not be able to meet. So that's really the big thing with it, is are they going to be able to work on our timeline in the phases of the project that we need, so that library operations remain as uninterrupted as possible and we stay open the entire time, because that's our goal. So patrons, for some of the time, may need to enter in this door, walk through to get into the library while they're doing certain phases of it. But the goal is everyone's gonna be able to get in the building, do core library services. Some meeting rooms may be unavailable for a limited amount of time, but the goal is to get everything back and running as quickly as possible.
Are there penalties if they can't meet that timeline? Like, how does that work? So you have a specified timeline, but what if?
So they have
Yeah.
they have to agree to be able to
Right.
meet that
Right.
timeline in
Yeah.
order to submit a bid.
Yeah, I
If they
know.
don't meet that
Right.
timeline, the penalty will be that I will be
Okay. Okay.
talking to them
Okay.
and making them meet that timeline.
Okay.
If there's something above and beyond that,
Right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they have to basically sign a
Yeah.
contract saying they agree to
Okay.
that timeline. Otherwise, they would be violating the contract.
Well, I think what he's asking, and I think what we should get some clarification on too, is what are the penalties for violating the contract, other than Jackie's really upset? Like,
Well, yeah, I think that Tom Hoffman from the village is going to be coming to the July meeting.
Got it.
I believe so. So he has more experience with that, and he would be able to answer some of those more in-depth questions in terms of a project like this, as to whether there's any repercussions above and beyond they violated the contract.
And he's gonna be working with you on this whole bidding process. and
Correct,
stuff, too.
yes.
yeah, awesome.
I also have a quick update on the Waukesha County Library Standards Act 150 Committee update. So as you know, we had guests at last month's meeting. The standards did pass the statutory requirement for the amount of libraries and percentage by population of those libraries. So now, coming up is when it goes to the county board. So there's gonna be a finance committee today, or there was a finance committee this morning for the county board. And then on the 26th, there's going to be a county board meeting where they would approve the library services plan. If they do not approve the county library services plan with the new distribution formula, it could go back to the library boards. So hopefully, this is,
What are
hopefully.
the odds of that, though?
I know, I'm hopeful that we're able to just continue this
I
and
don't think anyone.
move on to that so that we know what we need to be budgeting for next year, because budget season is coming up very, very quickly. So hopefully that will be a done deal. Otherwise, I do not have anything else for my report.
Just one comment. It's a great job on keeping that fax machine going in the upward direction. I mean, it's more every year.
Yep.
That's great.
We're gonna have to replace it soon. I
I-
mean, it's, the
right?
volume is.
We just updated the software on it, so I think we're good for a while.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Jackie, I have
That's
a
a
question.
20%
Yes.
increase year over year. Look at that.
You said next year we're going down to 10 computers, is that right?
No,
No.
next year the minimum
Minimum
that
is
we have
10.
to have
I
is
see.
10.
I got
We're
you.
going to
Okay.
have at least 21,
Okay.
if not 22
I see.
public
Okay.
PCs. We are working on getting one deployed for the collabs,
Yeah.
and also just general library use. So if someone needs to borrow a laptop, they'll have that ability
Right.
to do so. So that's going to be included in the total.
Okay, I was just wondering if the numbers were going up for computer usage.
Oh, yeah,
and
we're
it's
not,
just like a-
yeah,
right. Okay.
increasing to 10 total would
Yes.
be impossible
Yes.
with the amount of use we have.
Sure.
All right. Any other questions for Jackie? And next is the village trustees report. Matt, you're up.
All right, so May 4th, I guess the highlight would have been 2 new trustees came on the village board, and that is Sean Cook and Matt Lazowski, replacing Ann Lesla and Brad Jubber. I believe seats, don't quote me. And then this last week, we had a committee of the whole, a very long one, I guess, regarding the August storms, rainstorms, mid-August. Don't know the exact dates off the top of my head, but as you spoke to earlier in the meeting or before the meeting about some of the incidents or issues that came up throughout that. So, assessing the damage and kind of moving forward with future prevention, hopefully. And then I know Ann brought this up in a meeting before. So Menomonee Avenue is supposed to be essentially fully completed by the end of June. Said essentially.
That's the goal, right?
We are fully understanding that is not a village project.
Yeah.
That is a state project, so I am laughing, and anybody who lives in the village is laughing, because that's been going on so long.
And I live right off it.
Right.
So, yeah.
So it affects you more than me, but when I'm going to Valley View, it's all about what other way to get there. So if it's end of June,
Yes.
I'm good with that. Right?
Just want it done.
Right. It's only been 2 years.
I know. Yes, it's been
Oh.
long.
Sorry, state. I love you.
That's all I
I'm
have.
not so happy with them. Anyway. Next is the school district report.
Yes, since the last library board meeting, we had Teacher and Staff Appreciation Week. So it's always great to celebrate our teachers and our entire staff. You can't run a district, and we have an outstanding district. We have a top 15, top 20 district in the state, and high performing, and we're that way because we have great staff and great teachers and great families. So it's always great to honor them in a whole week of activities with gifts and things like that. So just an outstanding staff. On a related note, this has been widely reported, but there's a bipartisan bill that died in the Wisconsin Senate. The school district of Menomonee Falls, and I think most school districts in the state, but I don't speak for those districts, I speak for this one, we were supportive of that bill being passed, and it was not passed, largely because it increased the amount of money for special education spending, which we thought would be a good thing.
Should be.
I thought so. So the next point in terms of my report is I have a good relationship with State Senator Havish Sinekin. Met with her multiple times, including within the last few days, again in person, to talk through her vote against that and our thoughts as a district, my thoughts and suggestions. I do appreciate the state senator's openness and willingness to talk through what we think would be a good thing for schools. I'm not speaking to the rest of it. I don't know about the rest of the deal. There's a lot of different parts to it, checks and all of that. I just know that we would receive more money for special education, which is one of our core things that we were looking for multiple years. So we had a good discussion, the state senator and I think there will be more. She has about 13 school districts in her state senate area. Ours is one, like Germantown, out to Homestead, and others as well. But just so everybody's aware of that has a big effect on schools, not just ours, but all schools in the state of Wisconsin. So, like I said, I don't speak for all schools, but I do believe that most public schools would have wanted that to pass. Next thing, let me just stay in order here. Last night we celebrated 3 different inductees into the Arts Hall of Fame. So it was a wonderful presentation last night. Might be seeing some things on social media. I'll make sure to get links across to everybody here. We have things posted up, but I'll just read through a few and kind of give you a little bit of information in order of the number of, well, let's go with the people. Class of 2011, so not long after your time. There was a gentleman by the name of Ike Winter Wines. He goes by Ike Winter professionally. He started a band in high school called Cain and Abel, and then went a non-traditional path into blue-collar trades. Then he started doing some art and starting to get noticed, not just locally, but all over the country. And just a wonderful guy, and some of the things that he has done on social media, he gained national recognition. 2021, he completed his first major commission for Mike Tyson. Then he created artwork for organizations like the Milwaukee Brewers, Notre Dame, the Killers. I've listened to some of their music, and the NFL. So in 2025, he was commissioned to design all 32 logos for the NFL draft that was held in Green Bay, where his work was featured in the player walkway for the first round draft picks.
Nice.
He describes it, yeah, it's pretty amazing. So he actually made it. He missed the dinner because he was doing something with TikTok in New York. This really happened yesterday. But he was able to get to the presentation for the picture by the time we were on the stage last night. So Ike was just great, and he had flown in from New York, where he was doing what he does. But he considers himself, and these are his words, delusionally optimistic. And interestingly enough, I didn't know this at the time, but I live in the Falls, and I live next to this gentleman who retired, and I was invited to his retirement party. Ends up, that was about a year ago, and that's when I first met Ike, because he was there, and it was at this artistic barn that his family owns out in, I believe it's out in Germantown. It doesn't matter. It's out this way a little bit, but it was just it was more of a museum than a barn. For anybody who's been there, I think some people who know the family in Menomonee Falls, I happened to be invited not because I knew Ike, because I knew George and Dinah, who are my neighbors, and we got invited to this party, and all of a sudden, I see this guy, and then he gets the award last night. I'm like, hey, I know, his parents, of course, and Ike a little bit. I met him once, and now twice, but just a wonderful guy, and well-deserved recognition last night. The second person who received recognition was Amy Casey, class of 2004, Amy Casey Harder. Amy Casey was a public school teacher for a while, 10, 12 years. And then she started writing and her debut novel, The Sturgeon's Heart, which is also available here at Menomonee Falls Public Library, we found out. She received a starred review for the Booklist magazine and an honorable mention at the Chicago Writers Association. Her short fiction and poetry have been published in literary journals across the United States. She's a strong believer in fiction. We had good discussions last night, and I asked her, not knowing what she would say, Mike, I have a lot of different authors that I read, and I said, do you like Kristen Hanna? And she goes, you have very good taste. That's what she said to me, and I'm like, okay, right, it's good to know that we have a common deal there. But she is published and is still very active and believes in fiction transforming lives. So class of 2004, Amy Casey. She was also awarded last night. And then finally, from the class of 2016, Dr. Claire Rohde. She received multiple degrees in the area, including a PhD, and she is a performing arts physical therapist on Broadway. And she actually, where Ike was coming in from New York, she quick got on a plane this morning at 4:30 or 5 a.m. because her parents were there, and my wife and I were talking to her parents and everything, and she had to go back to work in New York. But she's a performing arts physical therapist, and she's been active in that all over the United States, but right now in New York with plays such as Hamilton, The Lion King, Masquerade, Stranger Things, The Shadow, Hairspray, Mean Girls, Ain't Too Proud, Cats, The Grinch, Who Stole Christmas, and Kimberly Akimbo. I don't know that last one, but I'm sure it's good. So all three were awarded last night in the middle of this wonderful concert that we had. So that was just a transition. So after those presentations, the Hall of Fame or the Wall of Fame presentations, like I said, I'll get information over. It was just outstanding. This week has been really busy with band concerts on Monday, and yesterday, while that presentation was going on, there was an orchestra concert as well. And I'll just say that, and of course I'm going to say this, right? I'm superintendent of the school district of Menomonee Falls, but our musicians are just amazing. The sound is just amazing. So if you have an opportunity to get out and to listen to some of our students, I mean, these are high school students and middle school students, and their sound is high level, and in some cases collegiate. And it's really impressive, not just the students, but their parents and obviously our teachers for that work. Aside from that, big news, we only have one more day in our district office. So new district office update. So you heard in the report from the village here that they have a project going on with the police department. Well, part of their project is taking over the current school district office, right? So that deal was made a while ago, and we're set. We're ready to open in a few weeks, but we have a transitional 2 weeks because we're using a lot of the same things from our current district office, like the main window, and we're pulling out and using a lot of the same, for money savings sort of thing. So there's going to be a transition, and this is all on the website and all over the place. But new district office update, the last day of the old district office is tomorrow, May 21st. And the new district office will open on June 8th. So there's an interim period of time. So last day is tomorrow, and then the first day of the new district office is June 8th. Although we're close to substantial completion right now. So the backside of Ben Franklin, the softball field, if you drive by the softball field, you'll see the backside of Ben Franklin looks a little different because there's a canopy up out there and a new address. So that'll be the district office, will be the little back portion of Ben Franklin with our own separate address. And all that's listed here. I won't, list it out for time's sake, but it's all over the website. Just hit the link. All of us, including myself, have interim locations. I'll be in the rec department, so the superintendent's office will be publicly available at the rec department in temporary offices, along with Peggy and some others. So we're in temporary locations for a couple weeks. So if you need the superintendent or anything, we're at the rec department. That's all online. That's all available. How to get a hold of us? Just click a couple links. Summer hours start June 15th. We are coming to the end of the school year. This is a shout out to Falls Cable Access and Chris over there. That he's not only helping us here in the school district, in the public library, but also the school district meetings and graduation. which is a couple weeks away, so graduation's a big deal. It's always great to celebrate students after 12, 13 years of public school and moving them on to different parts of their lives. So that's a real big piece. There's a fireworks show too. So if you don't have somebody graduating and you're kind of in the area and you see fireworks on graduation night, that's us. It's standard. Hopefully the weather is good so we can actually do that, which we did the last couple of years. So we're excited about that, summer hours. And the last thing, since we are coming to the end of this school year, we're ready for the, almost ready, for the start of the new school year. So the back to school fair dates have been set. We'll have that information and flyers out August 12th and 13th. So August 12th and 13th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., all students in all buildings are just like we've done the last 2 years. So we started it my first year. We improved it last year, and now this year we've tweaked it a little bit, that it's the same hours on both days. And we had that feedback from parents to kind of make some common time. So if they came on either day, that we were open over lunch, we're open over dinner, and we open at 10 and we go to 6, take your picture, get your new IDs, schedules, all that thing for the start of school. It's all in one place for all students anywhere in the school district. So that's great, Jim, just like we've done in previous years. It's August 12th, August 13th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. But that'll be advertised and all over the place. So we're excited that we're coming to the end of school. We're ready for summer school. A lot of those registrations, we're approaching full for summer school. And we're also getting ready for the start of school, which is pretty standard in all school districts. But we've had a great school year. We're looking to get our seniors graduated. I've talked to some juniors last night. They're excited to be taking over leadership of the district. And I said, yes, it's time. 11th graders, or 12th graders now. So anybody who's been in schools, it's a big thing for 11th graders to have the seniors move on because they're top dogs, right? I know you work in a high school, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's always fun. It's a fun time in a school district to come into the end of May, and we're excited to be there. So that's all I have.
I think you took longer than the whole agenda.
That's it. No cake for you. Nope. Had to get through a couple things.
Got a lot to say.
That's
Yes.
Soper gets a second piece. Sorry.
Next is the Friends report. Scott?
Yeah, last meeting, there was a lot of conversation about Library Park, and we have a sign up now.
Oh, is it up?
Yeah,
Did
it's up.
they
Yeah.
get it
Yep,
up?
it's
Oh,
up.
awesome, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, which looks really nice. So the enthusiasm of that. And Friends is looking to have kind of a ribbon cutting or ceremony. And dates not officially set on that, but they're looking to do something really nice for the whole park and the story walk. So if you haven't done the story walk, now that it's nicer out, you should go out and do the story walk. However, there is an issue with the story walk. It is extremely popular with birds. And the birds are spending too much time on the boards, so they're looking for ways to how can we keep it clean and keep the birds away. So it's not just popular with the kids, it's also with the birds. So they were looking at that, and also there's some trees out there that are in some bad shape, and there's talk about let them stay, see if they're going to come around, or maybe we need to replace them. So that was that. The other item was the next Give Back event. Mark your calendars, is June 30th at Three Cellars from 12 to 6. And they will be giving back 15% of the proceeds that day.
That's the one down by the corner of Atherton and Goodwood?
Yes. Yep. And we're gonna set up something a little different at this. We've had tables before, but we're gonna set up a table and have library information there. And also we talked about bringing some things for display that people may not know that the library has. Everything from a Latitude coffee cup to say, hey, we have coffee there. We talked about having the post hole digger that's available in the library. Things that we get people to stop by and go, what's this? And we said, no, this is the library. So that should be fun. Again, that's June 20th.
let's talk about the item to discuss. That's funny.
I was gonna ask if you were gonna bring something from the library of things.
Well, we're kind of working on we talked about various, but there's a lot. I mean,
There is,
you know, the things, you know, one of the passes, like a zoo pass, or,
Yeah.
you know, the people just may not know that we have here. David had talked about maybe we should have a photo of the fax machine. So everybody understands if they do need a fax, we've got it.
Let's increase those
Giant,
more.
giant poster.
I think he's great. I used to use him all the time. I still have my BlackBerry.
You could fax your dad. Have you not faxed your dad yet?
Dad wouldn't. I know. My
That's it for
father-in-law.
the
My
friends.
father-in-law.
Oh, it's your father-in-law.
My
That's what it
father-in-law.
was.
My
I was
father-in-law.
gonna say, you said somebody.
My father-in-law.
Father.
All right, back on track. We're
Oh,
almost done.
sorry.
Almost done. All right. Next meeting is Wednesday, June 17th, 2026 at 6 p.m. and we are adjourned.
Fantastic.